Wyoming tests use of state-issued stablecoin for contractor payments. Wyoming has been at the forefront when it comes to state-level blockchain adoption. Their Wyoming stable token, we first heard about this earlier last year. We speculated of a number of assets that the stablecoin could end up working with, but as it has been announced Thursday, the state teamed up with blockchain startup Hashfire to use the stablecoin through the company's document authentication protocol, which is built on a custom Avalanche blockchain. AVAX got the dub. Literally. AVAX got the dub, ladies and gentlemen. And when they say built on a custom Avalanche blockchain, these are the subnets that I was referring to. I started covering Avalanche for this very reason. I knew this subnet architecture would bear beautiful, beautiful fruit. And that is exactly what we're seeing right now. So, Hashfire is using Avalanche's technology through the form of the subnet to facilitate payments with the state of Wyoming's stablecoin. That is what we're looking at here. To take it even further, they plan on using the stablecoin for government payments, government employee payments, state contractors, things like that. So people who are working in public service on behalf of the city or the state, there's an opportunity they could get paid in stablecoins. Now, this is something that has worked in the past, not here in the United States, but the number one example I can think of off the top of my head is the arrangement built on Stellar, where the Ukrainian president is receiving a portion of his salary in Hervania. So the model works. Now, Hashfire said in a post on May 22nd that it was launching a pilot program using the Wyoming stable token to pay vendors. So this was the initial testing. And they say this innovative initiative enables businesses doing vital work for Wyoming citizens to execute agreements and receive payments instantly, boosting liquidity and working capital. I have to propose this question here before we leave this story. With the ISO transition taking place on the 14th, I have to ask you guys, have you noticed any changes yet? Faster payments, quicker interfaces, maybe you've received some letters in the mail saying, or maybe even emails saying there would be changes to your bank. I'm curious when we'll start seeing that. I haven't personally seen anything yet. I do know I was paying some bills that day, and some of the websites I had to go to make payments were a little wonky. They were a little bit wonky. But I'm interested in seeing when, in noticing when we'll realize this. Now, it was also reported in August that Wyoming was developing its own US dollar-backed stablecoin for consumer payments. They say that this will provide a faster and cheaper way for individuals and businesses to transact, which will create a new revenue stream for the state and may serve as a model for stablecoins at the federal level. So, at the state level, Wyoming seems to be ahead of the pack here. And if they figure out a way to make this work, you can guarantee other states are going to be doing this. So the question you have to ask here is, what would your state need a stable coin for? I can imagine here in Michigan, one of these auto companies looking into stable coins. Maybe to, I wouldn't say pay employees, maybe pay each other for parts, things like that. I could see that happening here in Michigan. Maybe in California, we'd start to see stable coins pop up around the entertainment economy, sports, the Olympics, even. We have the Olympics coming up in a couple years. Expect to hear a lot about stablecoins, ladies and gentlemen. Whole lot about stablecoins, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that sucker in America? Friday, 2028. LA. I guarantee you we'll hear it. Okay? And we're making this prediction quite far out, yes. But I guarantee you, ladies and gentlemen, by 2028, the state of California will have a stablecoin. And it will come from what the state of Wyoming did, the work that they did. Okay? What they proved could be done with a state-issued stablecoin. California will be next. Because in 2022, China did the exact same thing at the Beijing Olympics with the digital yuan. Same thing. They did the same thing.